I'll tell you, family, life is so crazy. Life is so crazy. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It is a brand new day. As always, it's my pleasure to be with you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, life will throw you some body blows, boy. I'm telling you, it will. But it's how you deal with it that really matters. Like, you can't control what other people do. You can't control what you can't control. But how you respond to it means everything. It means everything, family. Good morning to you and welcome back. Cops mock LeBron. Cops mock LeBron. Have you seen these TikTok video? If not, keep listening and watching, and I'll play it for you within the first couple of minutes of us starting the show. You got to see this. Yeah. TikTok is for everyone, including police officers in uniform. Yeah, I didn't know this was allowed, but apparently it is. Yeah, police officers have time to make TikTok videos to respond to NBA stars like LeBron James, who, I'll be honest with you, I'm disappointed in LeBron James. I said it last week, I'm disappointed now. And if you don't know, now he has responded to this nonsense. He's doubling down on it, and it only makes it worse. We'll talk about it, all right? We'll talk about it. Cops mock LeBron for LeBron's response to the shooting of Khia Bryant in Columbus, Ohio. That's in our backyard, and we have had a prolonged conversation about it. The ladies from Melanin Insights had a great conversation about it yesterday, and I want to talk about some of the updates and give you a few thoughts about this morning. Also, how many people are paying attention to Roland Martin? How many people are paying attention to Roland Martin show? I'll say it again. Roland Martin is a pioneer. He is a Black digital pioneer, along with many others. But, he's been focusing on the financial future of Black-owned media outlets and their ongoing issues with General Motors. How many people have purchased a General Motors automobile? If you are a melanated person, if you are Black, and you have ever purchased or would consider purchasing a vehicle from General Motors, you should be plugged into the conversation that he is having. He is 100% on point. And I just want to talk about it a little more because that's what we do. This is Black-owned, Black-focused media. So, of course, it caught my attention. We must discuss this morning. 513-873-7134. Good morning to my early risers. Again, early risers rule the world. You got to get up. Short men and early risers rule the world. If I get a chance to, it's the truth. If I get a chance to, I want to play a video that I don't know if it's gone viral or not, but I saw this online. And I think it's interesting. It kind of illustrates a point I've been making about not playing with certain people. But I want to play the video. It's completely outside the beaten path of what we normally talk about, kinda. But I want to play the video if I have time this morning. And then I want to get your thoughts about it. All right. I want to play the video, and then I want to get your thoughts about the video. Like, what is the moral of the story? Who is right and who is wrong? That sort of thing. All right. We may save that for the second hour of the show. Okay. Good morning, everybody. It is an absolute beautiful Monday morning. I hope you are ready to talk or to type or to listen. This is your morning destination for interesting conversation. It's the Nathan Ivy Show, brought to you by the good folks at CDM. To my patrons, thank you so much for another month of your support. We got some brand new shows coming. And my patrons will find out about it first. So make sure you check your Patreon feed. If you're a patron, make sure you check your Patreon feed throughout this week. I'm announcing 2 new shows that are dropping real soon, okay? We grow every single day. I ain't going nowhere. I'm built for this. This is what we do. Good morning to you. Now, listen, if you haven't already done so, please take a second to like and in particular share today's show. When you share the show, quite frankly, more people see it. It's real simple. I'm a very simple creature. Real simple. You share it, more people see it. I appreciate it. Then, our influence and our reach grows. It's real simple. Good morning to you. How was your weekend? That good, huh? Okay. I want to hear all about it. My son returned to basketball over the weekend. And that little boy, man, it's so fun to watch these little kids out there playing ball. It's the funniest thing ever. I'll be honest with you, he don't know what the hell he's doing, but it's just so fun to watch him. It's hilarious. I keep telling the wifey and people around me that's going to be part of my entertainment as I get into my old age. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sit back and watch what Junior and what Medium Buddha does. Speaking of which, Medium Buddha is doing quite well. Everybody is well. All right, listen, please take a second to like and share today's show. Again, when you share the show, more people see it, and we'll get started in about 90 seconds. Don't go anywhere. All right, good morning. Good morning. Let's get started. No reason to delay any further. Let's get started. Cops mock LeBron. You seen this? Let's jump straight into this, family. This is interesting. I want to show you a TikTok video that some police officers took mocking the king of, well, what is he the king of? I guess they just call him King LeBron, right? King James, because he was a basketball prodigy. Pardon me. Many of you may have seen this already. If you've seen it already, just it is what it is. For the sake of the conversation, just kind of sit tight. I want to play this for the people who haven't seen it. But these police officers, man, the nerve of them, man, mocking King James like this, and here he is just trying to elevate his voice on something that matters. You seen this? I don't believe there's any extreme language that I can recall. But it's about 90 seconds, maybe about 100 seconds long. I want to play this for you, and then I want to deliver some commentary, some strong opinion. Check this out. Hold on, let me jump back in here. People are saying that they're not hearing no sound on this. Hold on. Let me stop this real quick. Hold on. Because we got to make sure that you can actually hear this. Hold on 1 second. We got to make sure you can actually hear this. It's super cold inside the house. All right. Have y'all seen this? No sound. Okay. No sound. No sound. Okay. Hold on. No sound. So when you say no sound, are you saying no sound of me, or are you saying no sound of the video? Okay. Because I might have had the mic off. I'm not infallible. I do this all the time. So let me know. Are you saying there's no sound from the video, or there's no sound from the microphone? Okay, because I think you can hear me. I think everybody. The video. Okay, so let me see what we can do about that, family, because I definitely want to make sure you hear this. Okay, let me rewind this. I mean, essentially, they are mocking LeBron James. And there's some parts of it, I'll be honest with you, it's par for the course, right? No sound of the video. The video, okay, great. It's just par for the course. I mean, this is what you're going to get in these days and times. This is what worked. I'm gonna run it one more time. Anthony writes, Nate, I believe in getting behind Roland, Byron, Cube, and Dirt and Diddy. Only things I would ask is, as they make more money, how are they going to give back to the community? Will they create more job opportunities or to contribute to more community programs? Well, I think, yeah, they definitely will create more job opportunities by the virtue of being Black-owned media and hiring more people. All the details about what they do in the community, I don't know, but I think there's a difference between being Black-owned and Black focused. So you have a lot of media outlets that are not Black-owned, but they're Black-focused, like BET. BET is not Black owned. Hasn't been Black owned since Bob Johnson is now, and now his ex-wife, got out of that game. Okay. So there's a big difference there, but we'll get to that. She's in the video. What's up, Renee? Good morning. Okay, let me try this again because I want you to hear this. It's just so important that you hear this because it'll help set the conversation off. So let me try this one more time. Okay, so I don't know what's up with that. So I'm not gonna keep you trying it. I mean, some people are saying that they can't hear that. Just kind of let me know. Mike is saying no, still can't hear it. Okay, that's unfortunate. We'll just have to come back to it. I'm not sure what that is. For whatever reason, it seems like there's some issue there. That's really, really still I don't get that. But shit happens sometimes. Let me try something else. Maybe we can try it a different way. Hold on 1 second here. It'll take me a second to do it that way. So maybe after a break, maybe after a little bit, we'll take a break and I can see what I can do on my end. I don't know. Some of these things are just outside of your control. But in the video, it's two TikTok videos put together of a male and a female, both white police officers. And essentially they're mocking LeBron James. Like, the first officer is kind of like in a mocking kind of way, rolls up to a scene where there's some people who are fighting with a knife, and he calls LeBron James to get LeBron James's permission. Now, why are they doing all of this? Well, they're doing all this because LeBron James sort of inserted himself into the conversation with a tweet last week, into the conversation about Khia Bryant. There's still a lot of back and forth about what happened. I 100% stand by what I said. Black people got to stop conflating all of these officer-involved shootings. They are not all the same, and sometimes they're justified. It is what it is. It's tragic. It is what it is. Nobody wants to see, what happened to that young girl happen, but the boys roll up and you got a knife in your hand, you about to stab somebody, thinking they're gonna shoot you in the leg. That's all that television shit. They don't do that in real life. Nobody's shooting you in the leg. Nobody's gonna shoot the knife out your hand. And there's not enough time to put the gun up and then pull a taser out. It is what it is. I'm sure he could have did a lot of things. People said like shoot into the air and warning shots. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. But, when you got a deadly weapon in your hand and the police officers see that you might be about to, stab somebody, then one of those options is deadly force. And, it's very tragic and sad, but that's what the officer chose. To me, that's nothing like what happened with George Floyd. To me, that's nothing like what happened with Timothy Thomas. That case has nothing, it's nothing like a lot of these cases we see. It's completely separate onto itself and should be looked at it that way. But LeBron James, he stopped dribbling and opened his mouth, or should I say he opened his phone and he tweeted that essentially he had a photograph of the officer and the caption read, you're next, hashtag accountability, which some people took as a threat. And I can see how people can take it that way. I thought it was irresponsible of LeBron James because obviously he didn't have all the facts. And I think he was reacting from a good place, right? He said, black people, he's tired of seeing black people get killed by the police. I'm with you 100%, LeBron, 100%. But I think for somebody like LeBron James, you got to be responsible with those tweets, man. I mean, you might, anything he tweets is subject to go super mega viral. Millions and millions and millions of tweets and retweets and views. You got to know what you're talking about before you hit that send button. He took it down and then put up another statement like, oh, well, people are going to try to use what I say as hate. Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's true, but that doesn't explain what you tweeted and how irresponsible it was, quite honestly. Now there is a Cincinnati area bar owner who's gone viral as well. And I had never even heard of this bar before. It's called, what is it called? Lenny's? I never even heard of the bar. I don't know if anybody, it's called Lenny's Pub in Delhi, which, by the way, they're going to be doing big business now. I'm sure all the Lenny's Pub's patrons will be in there spending money now because he's gone like mega viral. But the owner made a Facebook post saying, quote, if anyone wants to watch the NBA game, don't come to Lenny's Pub. We will not air them until LeBron James is expelled from the NBA. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon. The NBA is not going to expel LeBron James over a tweet. That's not going to happen. He makes way too much money for them, and he's way too valuable to the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, when he comes back, they're going on a playoff run. So that ain't going to happen. And I guess they don't watch a lot of NBA games. You're going to take it out, the whole bar now has to suffer because of what LeBron James said. It is what it is. And I've seen a lot of people posting things like, well, nobody gives a damn and who cares? And other people like, yeah, I'm with you. It is what it is. You're always going to have different opinions about it. I've never even known that there was a Lenny's Pub. I don't drink. And, so there's nothing in the pub that really appeals to me anyway. So I probably won't be going there unless it's for business. Other than that, I can't really see it. But, this has been going back and forth. And then LeBron James got wind. He found out about what was posted from Lenny's Pub. And so then he tweeted what you see right there. Oh, damn. I was headed there to watch our game tonight and have a drink. Welp. So, he's going back and forth with them. And, like I told you. Sorry about that. Like I told you, I thought that LeBron was irresponsible in putting out the initial tweet about that officer because the facts haven't even come in now. And I know for a lot of black people, the facts don't matter. It's all about feelings. But for everybody else, the facts matter. And it should matter in each individual case. I thought that LeBron overreacted. And he posted a photograph of this officer and everything and put a target on his back. I thought it was wrong. I stand by that. Now, I know I might be saying something contrary to what a lot of black people are going to say, but that's just because I'm cut from a different cloth. Simple as that. I'll just look at things a little bit differently. I try to be objective about it. And despite how we feel about George Floyd and all the other, shootings that were unjustified, what happened in Columbus should be judged by the merits of the circumstances of what happened in Columbus. It don't matter if the cop said Blue Lives Matter afterward. It don't matter if the cop shot somebody else in Columbus. None of that matters. The only thing that matters are the facts and the evidence to that particular case, period. And that's just what it is. That's just grown folks talk for you. And I thought that, and then I thought LeBron going back and forth with this bar owner on tweets, all he's doing is giving them millions of dollars of free publicity. That's all he's doing. He ain't hurting them. If LeBron never goes over to Lenny's pub, they don't care. Right now, Lenny is winning. Somewhere Lenny and all the Lenny's friends is like, winning. I mean, he couldn't pay for this kind of advertisement. He couldn't pay for that. Lenny from Lenny's pub, he couldn't pay to have LeBron James in any way reference his bar, whether it's negative or positive. And then something tells me that the patrons of Lenny's bar or pub probably don't give a damn about LeBron James or anything else. You know, if I was Lenny, I'd put me like a LeBron James special on the menu or something like that, like a BLT. We'll call it the LBJ or something like that and really cash in. I'm like, come on, folks. I mean, I get it. LeBron is trying to be sarcastic. But again, I mean, all he's really doing is putting money in Lenny's pocket. Yeah, I'm telling you, if I was Lenny, I'd be smiling like this. Keep on talking, LeBron. Yeah, tweet some more. That's Lenny's pub, everybody. Lenny's pub. That's just how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that all publicity is good publicity, but in this case, and I saw the Facebook post, Lenny's fans and Lenny's friends, I don't know what kind of sandwiches or drinks they serve. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. The more LeBron tweets, the better it's going to be for him. You putting him on the mat, LeBron, inadvertently. That's not what he's trying to do, but that's what he's doing inadvertently. It's counterintuitive, quite honestly. I don't know. You tell me. 513-873-7134 if you like to share your thoughts this morning. Maurice writes, LeBron has the right to say what he wants to say. This is a prime example that African Americans, blacks, don't have the right to express themselves. You got the right to express yourself, Maurice, but you gotta know what you're talking about, though. See, two different things. Everybody has the right to express themselves. When you somebody like LeBron James, how many Twitter followers does LeBron James have? 35 million? He gets 100,000 likes and shares on every single tweet. He could take a picture of his breakfast and get 100,000 retweets. With that comes a huge responsibility. And when you step into these matters of politics and social issues, you got to know what you're talking about, period. He don't get no pass on that. He don't get a pass because of George Floyd. He don't get a pass because of Timothy Thomas. You got to know what you're talking about, period. And that's why he took the tweet down. Because if the facts were congruent with what his viewpoint, he would have left it up. He'd have left it up, period. He making a bad situation worse. That's what LeBron is wrong, period, all the way around. He's all the way around. Now, I'm not saying the officers are right. I mean, that's just what people do in the TikTok age. They make TikTok videos, and that's just what people do. I mean, what did Omarion say? That's what lovers do. That's what people do in the TikTok age, right? They go on TikTok and they make little funny 30-second videos. That's what they do. So I ain't necessarily mad at the officers. I mean, quite honestly, they got a point. I mean, people don't want to hear it, but in that TikTok video, the white officer made a point that I made, that some people were more comfortable with this black female potentially killing another black female than they are with the white cop killing the black female to stop the black female from killing the black female. He's right about that. He's right about it. I said the same thing. It don't make sense. There I go again. Oh, I'm going to lose some friends today. I can see my friends just dropping off. I know. You don't want to hear it. You want to be outraged and be in your emotions. And I know I'm off cold this morning, but damn it, somebody's got to keep it real. Somebody's got to keep it real. Hopefully I can get that video popping and we can try it again. We'll see. Not sure why the audio's not playing on it. Oh, okay. Maybe that's why. Oh, okay. Let me try this one more time. You know what? That could have been my rookie mistake. Let me try this one more time because I want you to hear this. Listen, somebody quick, because I don't want to play this for a long time if the audio's not playing. I'm going to try this one more again. Okay, one more again. Try this.
Dispatch, I've arrived at that disturbance. We can have LeBron call my cell phone right away, please. Thank you. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. No, can you put the knife down, please, sir? Sir, no, sir, don't stab it. No, stop stabbing. Stop. Oh, hold on. It's LeBron. LeBron, hey, yeah, it's me again. Listen, I'm out here at this disturbance call, and there's a guy trying to stab another guy with a knife. What do you think I should do? Why does that matter? Okay, well, they're both black. One guy's trying to stab another guy with a knife. Deadly force is completely justified. Uh-huh. I see. So you don't care if a black person kills another black person, but you do care if a white cop kills a black person, even if he's doing it to save the life of another black person? I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but then again, you are really good at basketball, so I guess I'll take your word for it. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. Thanks, LeBron. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. What? Nothing. I gotta go. Sorry, guys. You're on your own. Good luck.
LeBron! LeBron! This is damn ridiculous. LeBron! Where the hell is he? I've been waiting for a long time for him to come tell me how to do my job. I even cleared my seat out for him for his ride-along. You know? We have people to protect from getting stabbed in the fucking face. And he's lollygagging somewhere, probably shooting free throws. By the way, man, you really need to work on your stance. It's really not working out for you. Oh, was that stupid? Oh, is it stupid for me to tell you how to do your profession? Yeah, well, it's just as stupid for you to tell us how to do ours.
All right, so there it is. I think you played that time. You got a chance to hear it. I mean, somebody says I'm in my feelings. I mean, yeah, that's what we want to say. I mean, whatever. But I thought that the first officer made an interesting point that I think a lot of people don't want to hear because it's coming from a white cop, but he still made a great point nonetheless as it relates to the Khia Bryant case. I made the same observation when I was going back and forth with people on Facebook over the weekend. It seems like some people would have been okay with the black with Khia Bryant stabbing the female in pink to death. That would have been okay. Okay with that. I mean, to me, dead is dead. No problem with that whatsoever. But when the officer intervened, it's a problem. And I'm still struggling to understand that. I really do. And to the people out there like, well, they should shoot him in the leg and shoot the gun out of his hand or the knife out of his hand. That's television. That is television. They don't do that in the real world. They don't do that. It's center mass. That's it. Nobody's shooting you in the leg. I'm not even sure if that would really work. It's just a really terrible situation. And now you got police officers mocking King James, which is just, like I said, it's just the world we live in. It ain't no big deal, really, because everybody's making TikTok videos, but it's interesting to the conversation. It really, really is. And I blame LeBron James. He should have stayed out of it. He should have stayed out of it the way he stayed out of Tamir Rice. Just post something like in support of Tamir Rice like he did there. But I get it. You know, people are angry. They want to do things about it. I'm just saying, like, when you got an Instagram or a Twitter account with 30 plus million people, you got to be responsible about what you post. It's got to make sense because a lot of people follow you. Like, you're a trendsetter. You're a culture setter, right? And LeBron tweets something like this, all it does is double down on how a lot of people feel about situations. I saw a video of, I think it was the aunt of Khia Bryant. It was so hard to watch. Oh my God, it was so hard to watch. And she was like, they shot her down like a dog in the streets. I also saw another angle of the video. I think it was the one that Drop was trying to, and I'll play it for you. You know, it kind of just reinforces some of the observations that I've made and other people have made as well. And I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to give it to you the way I see it, straight up, no chaser. We ain't gonna always agree on everything. I don't have to be right. I don't have to be wrong either. I'm just here to make you think about it, maybe in a different way, maybe in a different way. So there it is, you know, and LeBron, you know, retweeting about this. He didn't mention them, which is good. He didn't mention the bar, but everybody knows he's talking about it. If I was the owner of Lenny Pub, I'd take his tweet and put it on a banner in the window. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. That's just me. And this story is all over the place locally, and I get it. It's kind of close to Cincinnati. It's like a Cincinnati area bar or pub or whatever. And I get it. It makes sense to me. I understand why it's out there. And it's getting a lot of clicks. It's getting a lot of clicks. A lot of people are talking about it. But I want to get your thoughts about it this morning. 513-873-7134. Police officers clap back. And again, people don't want to hear this, but I think he made an interesting point. He really, really did. I know black folks particularly don't want to hear nothing that this white cop has to say. But I think he made an interesting point. So all the people out there that's so outraged, you know what I'm saying? Had the cop done nothing and Khia Bryant stabbed that woman to death, that would have been better? I don't know. I don't think so.
Have Lebron call my cell phone right away, please. Thank you. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. No, can you put the knife down, please, sir? Sir, no, sir, don't stab it. No, stop stabbing. Stop. Oh, hold on. It's Lebron. Lebron, hey, yeah, it's me again. Listen, I'm out here at this disturbance call, and there's a guy trying to stab another guy with a knife. What do you think I should do? Why does that matter? Okay, well, they're both black. One guy's trying to stab another guy with a knife. Deadly force is completely justified. I see. So you don't care if a black person kills another black person, but you do care if a white cop kills a black person, even if he's doing it to save the life of another black person?
That's interesting right there. What do you think about that statement he just made there? Is that fair? Is it unfair? Is there truth in it? Or is he completely out of line? He don't care. I don't want to get your thoughts about it. 513-873-7134. I want to get your thoughts. What do you think? Is he completely out of line? Does he make any sense? You tell me. I want to hear your thoughts about it. Let me go to the Chop Shop and say good morning. Brandy Rice, good morning. Dale Rice, good morning, Choppers. Sharp Rice, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Welcome to the last week of April, Taurus season. Brenda Rice, happy Monday. Ashley Rice, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Happy Monday. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to you, Ashley. Good to see you. Tell me what you think about what the cop said, that statement about, black people killing one another and people not caring about that. But if it's a white cop, then people care. I want to get your thoughts about it. I want to go straight to it. Good morning to you, Kurt. What's up, Cass? How you doing? TNT writes, good morning. Tiff's in the house. Naisha's in the house. Good to see you. She writes, morning, beautiful people. Maurice writes, glorious resurrection. LeBron mocked them and a bar back. Yes, he did. All he's doing is putting money in the bar. That's all he's doing. Anthony writes, morning, Chop Shoppers. Joe is in the house. He writes, grand risings, Nate in the Choppers. Cleopatra writes, grand rising, Nathan Ivy in the Choppers. Maurice writes, I continue to say using these misnomers, African-American and black does not have rights. Using these misnomers, especially African-American, makes a person an undocumented immigrant. No one who calls himself an African-American has dual citizenship. Okay. Anthony writes, like to watch the little helmet bobbleheads on a football field. It's the funniest thing to see. Yes, it is. Oh, my God. It's a couple kids out there with skills. You know what I'm saying? They got skills. I'm like, damn, they got skills at 6. I got to make sure my boy got skills out there. Brenda writes, good morning from Fairfield. Well, good morning to you, Brenda, and to Fairfield. Tiff writes, the video was so uncalled for. Shouldn't cops just shut up and do their damn job? I agree with you. Deborah writes, good morning, Nate and everyone. Pat writes, good morning. Then we got a lot of folks who are saying that the sound was off. I think I fixed that. Nave, I think I read that already. We'll talk about Roland Martin here in a little bit. He's doing some good work. And he's exposing some of the people in the black community that basically are working against their own best interest. You might be surprised to find out who. Keep watching. Maurice writes, I think I read that already. Jack writes, all bars in world, not just America, racist ass bar in Delhi. Who cares anyway? They are watching the Reds with 7 losses in a row. Right. So it's better to watch the Reds. That's an excellent point. I'm sure the Reds will turn around, man. The season is still early. David writes, Whiteys. I don't know what that is. Lemmy writes, we still don't have all the facts. No, we don't. No, we don't. Oh, get the hell out of here. That's what David writes. Tracy writes, it's the same people that was there before. Nobody goes to Delhi to go to a bar, right? David writes, Lenny's bye. Cash writes, not to mention the NBA don't care about your little raggedy unknown Ohio bar. Correct. Correct. Tracy writes, I replied to dude and said, where's Delhi? Y'all wrong. I bet you did. Kevin writes, it may be true that he needs to be more careful, but he did what responsible people do. And honestly, most of us jump to the same conclusion. So, well, I didn't jump to that conclusion. David writes, facts, he killed her. We know that. TNT writes, white people don't get to tell any of us, even LeBron James, how to feel or react to the trauma of losing another black life in police custody. I hear you. David writes, they always win. Cass writes, David writes, ain't nobody going to Lenny's, right? I never knew it existed. Cass writes, facts at TNT, just sympathize quietly and stand in solidarity with us when we ask, but we don't know your opinion on how to feel or act. Lemmy writes, Nate, you and I and others have made knee-jerk statements before the facts. Really? Tell me when. I don't remember that. David writes, keep it going, 23. Brent writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers, checking in from Dallas, Texas. Tracy writes, Lenny's $5 sandwich and fries is not a win. Ain't no money in Delhi. Okay. Kush writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. David writes, they white, Nate, when have they gave a damn? I hear you. Okay. I just want to make this point again. I know it's inconvenient. I know it's very inconvenient. But there are white people in history who have died for the cause. And there are white people right now that are allies that are willing to do more than black people. I'm just saying. So I know we all generalize, and I do too, but I just want to make that point. I know it's inconvenient and nobody wants to hear it right now, but I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I don't give a damn about that. I'm going to speak my truth and give it to you straight with no chaser. I'm just saying. There's some black folks out there that's basically the Judas to the black Messiah. And there's some white folks out there that'll put it on the line for the cause. I'm just saying. So while we generalizing, let's just make sure that we don't generalize and alienate people that really are in the same boat as we are trying to help us out. Because there's some black folks out there in this city. There's some black folks in Cincinnati that are a part of the problem. And they out front and in center everybody every single day. And they every bit the problem. But they just as black as you are and I am. So I'm just going to make that point. I know it's inconvenient. I know it's seemingly off code, but it needs to be said. It's some black folks in this city that's straight up Judases. Is it Judases or Judas I? I don't know. Every bit of problem. Every bit the problem. On all levels at all times. Okay? And their skin is heavily melanated. And there's some white folks that's down for the cause. I'm just saying, let's keep the door open and not shut the door on folks just because they may not have melanin in their skin. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nathan. Excuse me. Good morning, Nathan.
Hey, good morning. That's a big difference. Good morning to you, TNT. How are you?
Nothing. I'm up here. I had a long trip, drove from Atlanta yesterday. So I'm back in town. And but this whole thing with LeBron James, it's just it's been bothering me. I felt like you in the whole thing when everything started, you did jump the gun, and I think a lot of people didn't have all the facts. I think when the information came out, people got to keep in mind, we were in the middle of the trial conviction. We was literally waiting to hear the verdict. And, something popped up basically saying a 15-year-old got shot by the police. So just that alone, that just like we already at a heightened anxiety level as far as will this man be found guilty? You know what I mean? Then before we can like receive that information and figure out, is it about to go down or is it just, what's going to happen? You get this news. So I give the brother grace, because for all of us, and that's why I said in the thread, like, white people, the one thing you will not do, check us or tell us how we react or respond to this situation, because we are dealing with trauma on all different levels. And so if the first thing you hear is a 15, 16-year-old got shot by the police, and we dealing with the Derek Chauvin trial, Dante Wright, all these different, it was too much. You know what I'm saying? And so I forgive the brother. I give him grace. And even when he found out, he respectfully took it down. What these police officers are doing, and a lot of these people that is on his thread is attacking him on the notion of his response and his reaction. And it's really just but when you get down to the core of it, why are you really mad? Why you mad? Because he had compassion and humanity, because he's tired of seeing his people die. What is you really mad for? A bar in Ohio, you asking for him to be expelled, and you're not going to play NBA and anything because he had humanity. He's tired of seeing black people die. You know what I mean? I just like when you think to the core of it, it's just all that racist garbage. And then for the police to come up with their little TikTok video, which was not funny. Keep in mind, you are paid by taxpayer dollars, my taxpayer dollars, his taxpayer dollars. And guess what? We get to approve and disapprove your actions. Just as much as you want the praise, you also get the disapproval. That's what comes with the job. And guess what? We get to change policy on your job. Yeah, we do. So we do get to tell you how to do your damn job. You understand? But people need to get a brother grace. And police officers need to come from the position that it isn't LeBron James, it isn't the black community, it isn't Black Lives Matter. That's the enemy. The problem a lot of times is right within your department. And until you start checking the bad actors within your department to keep all of you from getting a bad rap and a bad look and everything else, when you start dividing yourself away from the people that dishonor the badge, instead of trying to defend that, we're gonna be at this point of divide. What we saw in Minneapolis with the chief and all those officers, standing up and saying that this does not represent our ethics and our values. That's what you don't see. And that's what we need to see. But it's always this safe haven from the FOPs and everything else. It's a umbrella of they can't do no wrong. And we've seen that time and time again. So I'm like over this whole garbage with people trying to attack him or whatever. It was an emotional time. He took it down. It's done with. They just doing that because they have nothing better to do but to be trolls. And then, I did go on that tweet and I replied to his tweet and I let them know I've been getting hits all day. So it might go viral. I don't know. But I said in that tweet, there are plenty of black-owned bars in Ohio that will continue to watch you and the NBA as long as brothers like you continue to be a voice for the voiceless and truth to power. You know how to plug in the podcast. But it's just that simple. You know what I mean? We know what the brother do and we know where his heart is. And these other individuals are trying to tear him down, attack him or whatever. And it's, one, you don't get to do that. You know what I'm saying? He can make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we can feel like that in a moment, even after knowing the fact. If people want to feel like hey, still this could happen. This, yeah, but that's just part of that conversation of rethinking policing. They are trained to hit center mass. Maybe we start talking about not training our police officers to kill. That's part of the John Crawford third law proposal that we have. It's like, changing the mindset of how we do policing. And so instead of thinking we have to shoot them at center mass, well, maybe we need to rethink that. Just because it's law, just because it's the way it is now, doesn't mean it's good law. Doesn't mean it's right. Police officers are supposed to apprehend and bring people to justice so they have due process. We are training people to be, judge, jury, and executioner, especially when they have more hours dedicated to firearm training than they do de-escalation. It's like 6 to 40 hours or something. So maybe we need to rethink that, but we're not there yet. And in this situation, what happened with the young lady is going to be justified. You know what I mean? But until we change the dynamic and how we want officers to apprehend people, it's like that for the time being. But maybe that's part of the conversation when we're talking about police reform. Maybe we're ending the bullets and the projectiles that they use or something like that is like tranquilizer, paralyze a person or whatever, instead of just, killing them outright. I think people rather they loved ones here. You know what I'm saying? And if all you're trying to do is get a person down instead of stopping the threat and killing them, how about just stopping them, holding them, and getting them into custody so they can have due process? It's just too many deaths, and we're tired of it. And especially what we're learning now is that a lot of people have died off the risk instead of a threat. Oh, I thought you was going to do this. The risk of it's a clear difference between a risk and a threat. We are all a risk, but what is an actual threat? And so even with the little boy in Chicago, the gun wasn't in his hand up, like they said, the use of force continues all the way up into the last second. And even if in the last second he dropped the gun, you gave him a command, he dropped the gun, so you don't get to shoot him. You don't get to shoot him. Like, I don't care. Well, I thought he might have turned around and just up into the last second. That's what you're trained for. That's what you do those video simulations of situations. And if that was a test, he would have failed. The gun wasn't pointed at you. That's a threat, not the risk. People are dying off the risk, and that ain't right. I think we're gonna need some retroactive measures, because there's a lot of cases that was justified and they should not have been, because officers been killing people off the risk instead of a natural threat. John Crawford III didn't even have a chance to turn around. Last words he said, "It isn't real," and it killed him in seconds. Tamir Rice in seconds. That gun was never pointed at those officers. So, and the gun they have in the open carry state is legal, completely legal. Last time I checked, pellet guns, BB guns are legal in an open carry state, and they still died. So it's a lot of work that got to be done. But I give the brother grace. King James, we made our mistakes. He took it down, and we got to defend our people. You know what I'm saying? We can't let people take them down, or let any of them take us down. We got to control the narrative. So that's all I'm trying to do.
All right, TNT. Thanks for the call.
All right.
Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah. I think a lot of what she said, I agree with. I agree with a lot of what she said. I still believe that LeBron James was wrong. I get it. I think that his heart was in the right place, but he's got a greater responsibility. He should think before he tweets. It's people out there in all kind of professional jobs, and they think before they tweet. They think before they tweet. They think before they hit send. He's no different. In fact, he's got a greater responsibility because his platform is bigger, and that's why he took it down. It damages his credibility for the next case. And it inflames people. He should have thought about it. I get it. I understand why he did it. I'm glad on that level. But come on, LeBron. You got all these people around you. Get the facts before you. And then it's one thing to say, it's It's one thing to tweet, man, another sister got killed, another black person got killed. I'm tired of this. Rest in heaven, Khia Bryant. That's one thing. Okay. But you're going to post an image of the officer talking about accountability? That's implying guilt. That's implying something. That was too far. Let's not act like he had to tweet that. There's a billion things he could have tweeted that didn't include pointing a finger directly at the officer with a picture of the officer. That was wrong. Period. He could have posted a picture and said, you know what? Rest in heaven, sister, Khia Bryant, a picture of her. I'm sick and tired of these officer-involved shootings without taking a side because he didn't have no facts. Come on now. It's like what they say with Spider-Man, to those who have great power is given great responsibility, something like that. Come on, you got to be better than that, LeBron, because it opens the door for your critics. It opens the door for the people that want to look at black folks and say, look, they just overreact to any old situation. It does way more harm than good. That's just my opinion about it. But you already know that. I'm sharing it with you this morning. If you're just tuning in, cops are mocking LeBron James. Say what? Cops mock LeBron. They're mocking LeBron for a tweet that he put up in which he basically was pointing a finger at the officer involved with the Khia Bryant situation, which is just terrible. Everybody's got an opinion. I've given you my opinion about it. Before we get too deep in the show, I want to say this again, that this is a media platform. So we offer placement for candidates and small business owners and all kinds of stuff. If you're interested in this show or any of the shows with CDM, hit me with direct message and I'll respond today. So this is not a personal endorsement, but of course there is an election going on right now. You can early vote today up until a week from tomorrow, which is May 4th. And we got a big decision in this primary as to who are going to be the top 2 vote getters to go forward to November. All right. So take a listen to this and I'll be back on the other side.
Hello, I'm Mr. Same Old Same Old. I'm running for mayor.
Hold up. Haven't you run for a bunch of offices always promising change but doing nothing?
Yeah, but
nothing. I'm not voting for the same old politicians to clean up City Hall and create change. We need to vote Prophet for mayor. He will be bold, courageous, fair, and stop corruption at City Hall. I'm voting for Prophet. Prophet for people.
I'm Raphael Prophet, and I'm asking for your vote, as I will do what is right, what is just, and what is fair. Paid for by Prophet for Mayor, Dwight Crawford, Treasurer.
hello, I'm Mr. Same Old Same Old. I'm running for mayor.
Hold up. Haven't you run for a bunch of offices always promising change but doing nothing?
Yeah, but
nothing. I'm not voting for the same old politicians to clean up City Hall and create change. We need to vote Prophet for mayor. He will be bold, courageous, fair, and stop corruption at City Hall. I'm voting for Prophet. Prophet for people.
I'm Raphael Prophet, and I'm asking for your vote, as I will do what is right, what is just, and what is fair. Paid for by Prophet for Mayor, Dwight Crawford, Treasurer.
Got a real treat coming up today at 12 noon. Tiffany Daniels and the Community Connector podcast will be back. She'll be live streaming right here on Facebook. The Community Connector podcast is all about wealth building, and she talks to a lot of people in various industries to get their expertise and advice. Today, she'll be talking with a sister out of Toledo who, as I understand it, is a powerhouse in the world of real estate development. She's the owner of Arc Restoration and Construction, and they'll be talking today at 12 noon. Don't miss it. You can always plug in. You can ask questions. You can interact live with Tiffany and her guests today at 1 p.m. And speaking of guests, I just want to make sure people remember that you might have missed it, but Raphael Prophet was a guest with Donnie B talking about his campaign on Friday's show. She also had a really interesting conversation with the sister that was a former Buffalo police officer. You know what I'm talking about? Carriole Holloman Horn. That's the sister that, well, basically she did what the officers involved with the death of George Floyd didn't do. She stepped in. It got physical. I mean, her story is amazing. If you haven't heard it, it's worth your time. And you can check out the podcast on our CDM page and also connect with Donnie on her Facebook group, the Is It Just Me Facebook group directly. But I thought it was a very interesting conversation. And you never know. She's working diligently right now to trying to get Carriole's law passed throughout the entire nation, every single state. So something might come out of it. You never know. Keep your eyes on what we're doing here, because Black owned and focused media is very, very important in these days and times. It's never been more important than it is right now. It's never been more important than it is right now, family. All right, let's get back to our conversation. Charles writes, why are cops on the clock making TikTok videos? Do your job. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that one, Charles. David writes, what do you want him to do? Kiss y'all asses? TNT writes, he's winning with racist dollars. Let Lenny bathe in that hate. Oh, master, we sorry. Y'all funny. Tracy writes that part. Anthony writes, Nate, if you know anything about the West Side, mostly only West Siders patron West Side establishments. People from other areas usually don't come to party on the West Side. Don't think Lenny will be making a lot of money from this. Okay. David writes, he's a murderer. No, are you talking about the officer? Now, murder is a legal term, and I don't think that officer has been found to have been guilty of murder. Okay. Not sure. Is it a homicide as I understand it? Yes, it is. Meaning that one human caused the death of another human. Will the officer be found to be legally responsible or to have broken some laws? We'll have to wait and see. Cass writes, but Nate, he has the same information we all had at the time. He wasn't wrong. He spoke on the information that was out at the time, which was cop shoots 15-year-old black girl, then says Blue Lives Matter. When it first happened, that's all we knew. No, that's not all we knew, because we had the video. The cam came out like the next day. The body came out the next day. And y'all trying to make excuses from LeBron James because y'all love him and y'all feel like he was trying to do something and speak up for black folks. And I get it. But let's be clear here. LeBron had a whole wide range of responses. He did not have to take the photograph of the officer and imply some guilt. He did not have to do that. He could have posted up, rest in heaven, Khia Bryant. The caption could have read, I'm sick and tired, as it did. I'm sick and tired of black people dying at the hands of cops. This must end. He had a whole range of responses. I'll say it again. He did not have to take a photograph of that man and point a finger at him and put crosshairs on him. He didn't have to do that. And he still could have expressed his empathy, his sympathy, and his outrage without putting a target on this man's back. And he didn't have all of the facts. Let's stop acting like he only had one option. He had multiple options. It was irresponsible. And that's why he took it down. If it wasn't irresponsible, he would have left it up. Case closed. There's no debate about that. That's the only that's the reason he took it down. There's a big difference between posting the image of an officer and pointing a finger at him, and we don't even know what happened. LeBron had no idea what happened, right? I get you. We don't know what happened. Well, then your responses should reflect that you don't know what happened. And I get it. I want all the officers to be held responsible when they kill unarmed black folks for no reason. Right? I want them to go to jail for as long as they possibly can be for the rest of their natural lives. But every situation is different. And LeBron had a whole range of ways that he could have responded, as he has in other cases. Okay? I get it. I'm in my feelings about it too. But right and wrong is wrong. Maurice writes, not everyone is cool with that 13-year-old killing the other little sister. Renee writes, no, people didn't want anyone to die in the situation. You're right. Nobody wanted anybody to die in that situation, Renee. You absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Nobody wanted anybody to die. I agree. I'm with you. David writes, bro, seems like you've been in your feelings ever since that shooting. No, I've been in my head. Other people have been in their feelings, and I'm trying to pull you back to logic. That's what's really going on. Tracy writes, LeBron won't be the last celeb to speak out or turn. He's human. He apologized. He should be a backstage story. He should be, but he's LeBron James. So he's always going to be a front page story, which was part of the reason why I say when you're somebody like LeBron James, and you got $35 million Twitter followers, you got to be responsible before you hit that send button. You got to double check. You got to make sure that when you start pointing fingers at people, that you know what you're talking about, that you got your facts straight. That's just called being responsible. LeBron James ain't like me and you. He got millions upon millions of people that follow him. That is a great responsibility. Did he mess up? Yeah, he messed up. So that's all I'm saying. Renee writes, police officer Nate Sylvester should be fired. Is that the officer involved in the shooting? I'm not so sure about that. I don't think I agree with that. Let's wait and see. Carmelita writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Greg writes, Grand Risings, Nate and the Choppers. David writes, NWA equals F the police. Okay. Danita writes, good morning, all. Monday came too fast, but it was a blessing to be here. Have a marvelous Monday. Monday did come super fast. Oh, my God. It seems like it was just fucking Friday. My weekend went hella fast, man. Like, when you got stuff going on, your weekends go super fast. Lemmy writes, the mockery by cops really shaking my head. Kelly writes, where's the black officers in this video? Tracy writes, yeah, this video is a pass. Greg writes, this is the first time I'm seeing this video. David writes, that's what they do when they mad. Stupid ass ish. Do your jobs instead of crying. I agree with you. Here you are on the job, making TikTok videos. Unacceptable. I'm with you on that. Maurice writes, this punk and punkette are mocking the death of this young sister, other so-called African-American blacks. You know what? I can see how people can take it that way. I can definitely see how people can look at it that way, because you are talking about the fact that somebody lost their life, and it's not a funny matter. So I get you on that. I get you. Clarence writes, GTFOOH. Joe writes, so I now see why the sound didn't want to work. The video was dumb as F. Charles writes, they are stealing time. Fire them. Sarah writes, were these cops on the clock? They appear to be. Clarence writes, get those hillbillies off our lines. Griselda writes, do you really justify the cop killing? Griselda Blanco. That's a name right there. The godmother, right? Damn. That brother in that video, man, I tried to get him on the show, and we went back and forth, man. I want him on the show. I'm still interested. Brother's name was Charles something. He was dating the godmother, the godmother. Yeah. Griselda Blanco. Do you, as in me, really justify the cop killing? I'm waiting for all the facts to come in. But when I saw the video, I understand it. It's unfortunate, but I can understand it. Greg writes, if the cops are doing this on their own time, they have the right to say what they want. And LeBron had a right to tweet what he wanted. Some people felt that LeBron's tweet put a target on the cops' back. But that's those people's interpretation. It most certainly put a target on the cop's back, man. Come on, Greg, let's be real here. You post a photograph of the officer talking about accountability. That's a target. It is what it is. I mean, we can support LeBron James, as I do, and support his social justice efforts, and at the same time tell the brother when he's wrong. Kamara writes, good morning. Good to see you, Kamara. TNT writes, I told LeBron in the same tweet, there are plenty of black-owned bars in Ohio that will play him in the NBA as long as he keep being a voice for the voiceless and speak truth to power, going viral. You're right about that. I thought it was stupid for this bar owner to say that. I'm like, number one, who gives a damn what you think about LeBron James? I never even heard of your bar. So what? So that's just one more thing for me not to come to your bar, because I like the NBA when I'm in the mood for it. So don't play the NBA. Who gives a damn? Lemmy writes, no one is okay with a killing. Remember, this police made split decision and was a marksman. Sad. I don't know. LeBron is human too, not God. He can make mistakes and he can speak on his opinion. Cass writes, but it's not television, Nate, because we see grown people. I won't even comment on their race who run into cops with knives and sticks to try to hit them with cars, and they don't get shot in the chest 4 times. Cass, I hear you, sis, but none of that matters. None of that matters. It, people keep trying to make these comparisons to other cases. None of that matters. Now we all do it. I've done it before and say, well, in this case, it didn't happen. But let's be real here. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters in the Khia Bryant case is what happened in the circumstances and the context surrounding Khia Bryant. I'll tell you something else that don't matter. It don't matter that those police officers afterward were heard saying Blue Lives Matter. It might make you angry. It might make you think it's some racist ass police on the Columbus Police Division, but none of that matters as it relates to the shooting of Khia Bryant. Has nothing to do with it. The only thing that matters is what happened in that scenario, and that's it. That's it. It don't matter if the cops in Texas, a white dude was swinging a machete and then they did everything they could to. It don't matter at all. It's irrelevant to what happened in that situation. The only thing that matters is what happened in that situation. That's it. That's it. Clarence writes, they cracking jokes about LeBron wearing Blue Lives Matter flags on their vest. Go back to your FOP Klan meeting. Craig writes, in Germany, the cops often disarm and detain knife armed. So now he talking about Germany. What does that have to do with what happened in Columbus, Ohio last weekend, Greg? Nothing. But I'll read it anyway. In Germany, the cops often disarm and detain knife-armed suspects by shooting in the leg. In this case, things happen so fast, I don't know if that was a real option. I still want to know who was the guy in the Khia incident that kicked the other girl, right? Who kicked the other girl in the head, and why didn't he, instead of trying to break up the fight? I'm with you. Jack writes, don't give a damn about LeBron. Contracted cops should not be making TikTok videos in uniform on my dime. I agree with you 100% on that. Those bullets are hot. They will take all the fight out of you. All that other stuff is Hollywood. Ask a CPD officer what they would have done. I'm cool with a lot of them. Ask them what they would have done. And I'd like to know. I know the officers watch. If any officers are listening right now watching, what would you have done in that situation? It's hard to say, but what would you have done? What are you trained to do? I want to say this again. When the boys roll up, if you got knives or weapons in your hands, I would conceal them or drop them. I would highly not recommend that you try to stab somebody with a knife in front of a police officer in a situation where the police officer is coming to the scene. I would highly, highly, highly dissuade you from doing that because you might end up dead, period. Everybody know that. Callie writes, those are white racists that support the police killing us. Amina is in the house. She writes, good morning. Brent writes, I am a LeBron hater, but at least when he put out his tweet, he deleted it and then followed up with another more substantive tweet. The mother folks just let that original tweet ride. Okay. I used to live in Delhi. Lenny's is a piece of crap, racist cracker. Nobody goes there, a hole in the wall. Damn. Tell us how you really feel. First of all, the owner of Liddy's bar doesn't want you to come there either, Nate. Let's be clear what that was about. The Delhi bar isn't going to welcome you with welcome arms either. Yeah, I ain't going. Trust me. Sarah writes, the cop made legitimate points, but he was on the taxpayer time when he made this video. I think he was. Thank you for saying he made legitimate points. I think he did make a legitimate point, or at least an interesting point. A point rather worthy of further discussion when he said, like, would it have been better if I just let them kill each other so that a white cop wouldn't have been involved? I think that's a fair question that we in the Black community should at least ponder. This video is not funny, very insensitive, and you wonder why we have problems. Wow. Frenay writes, I love LeBron. Y'all can say what you want. I don't know another NBA star on his level that speaks up for his people and not worry about what others thinks. He's taking him some time, but I'm glad to see it too. Hola, beautiful Black people and the others too. That's Jerica. Hola to you. Danita writes, he is completely out of line and being in uniform makes it worse. He is allowed to his opinions and feelings, just like the rest of us. When we are on our jobs, you suck that ish up. Stay professional and do your damn job. I agree with you completely. Regina's in the house. She writes, good morning, all. Good morning to you, Regina. Good to see you. Daryl is in the house. He writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Clarence writes, people are drawing different narratives from the angle that was shot across the street. versus the angle of him in front of the girl. From the angle across the street, it appears that he was close enough to tase her or grab the knife. Grab the knife. I didn't see him close enough to. So let me get this straight. You see two people fighting and you gonna try to grab the knife. Okay. Down even sounds smart on no levels. Grab the knife. You talking about the business end of the knife? That's that TV-ish, man. I just don't see that happening. I really don't. Unless it's like a family member or something like that. Your uncle get into it with your grandpa or something like that. And you try to wrestle the knife out of grandpa's hand. Other than that, who's out here grabbing knives out of strangers' hands and it's a fight? But okay, let me continue it. Versus the angle, from the angle across the street, it appears that he was close enough to tase her or grab the knife. I guess today you got to pick your angle and make your argument bottom line, but young girl is gone. The officer has procedures for every encounter. That's what they go to the academy for 8 weeks for. That don't seem like a lot of time to be. 8 weeks, that's it? That don't seem like a lot of time. This is just some butthurt cops mad they getting pushed back from the public in a major way now. They know times are changing and they're losing their grip they once had, just using this situation to express their hurt feelings. Charles writes, none of these white cops have anything to say about Derek Chauvin conviction, and congratulations, the AD of Minnesota, for getting the killer off the street. Interesting point. Tracy writes, let's be clear, white folks don't watch / enjoy the NBA. I think white people do enjoy the NBA. They definitely go to the games. If you look around center court, all I see is white folks and rappers and entertainers. Terrence writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. I'd be really interested in hearing Terrence's viewpoint on that situation in Columbus. Maurice writes, what if this was reversed? What if the cop was black and the girl was white? Would anyone be saying anything? White people would have said he didn't have to shoot her to kill her. White folks would have a big fuss. I'd feel the exact same way. I wouldn't feel any different. Sean writes, my name is Lenny and I got plenty. Is that right? Plenty of what? Janine writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Dante writes, well, it seems like black folks don't care when we're taking our own, but when we're taking our own out the game over ridiculous BS, we can protest about Caucasian officers killing blacks, but we also need to be protesting killing of our own people by our own people. Both needs to stop. We have to be able to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. Sarah writes, Roland went in and GM is only giving a pittance for black owners over a 5-year period. Those two sellout CEOs are probably getting more money under the table than black media. Yeah, I want to say props to Roland Martin, man, because I think Roland is out there fighting for black-owned media. This is a black-owned media platform, and he's trying to get to the bag. And he, along with Byron Allen, Ice Cube, Diddy, and the new owner of, I believe, Essence Magazine, they all got together and took out some full-page ads in the Detroit Free Press, the print magazine. And they were calling out the GM of General Motors. As it turns out, black people buy a whole lot of cars from General Motors. Black people love them some GM cars. Raise your hand if you're currently driving a GM car. Got you a Malibu, an Impala, all right? But when it comes to using black-owned, not black-focused, but black-owned media to advertise, it looks like GM has a huge problem. So they have no problem taking our money, but they got a big problem with giving money, right? Advertising with black-owned media outlets and platforms, and that's the issue that Roland raised up. I posted a link to his YouTube channel, and there's a particular segment he posted over the weekend. I thought it was hella interesting. People should watch it. And so what happened is that Roland, P. Diddy, Byron Allen, and others, they came together and approached GM with a plan to get, but a plan so that GM could make more of an investment that was commensurate to the amount of money that black people spend with GM in terms of media buys. And lo and behold, guess what happened? Behind their back, a couple of other black folks, right? They got together and basically met with GM on their own. right? It was the divide and conquer strategy. So then GM puts out a message saying, hey, we met with some black folks and everything's all good. They even have some quotes from some black folks like Alfred Liggins, who is the CEO of Urban One, right? Used to be Radio One. I ain't surprised. I'm not surprised. And Ben Chavis Jr., who represents about 250, black newspapers from across the country. If what Roland is saying is true, they basically work behind the backs of what Roland and Byron Allen, Diddy, and Ice Cube were trying to do to try to carve out a deal for themselves. Straight up divide and conquer. And this is part of the reason why black people can't get ahead. I keep making this point. We got to root out these Judases. It ain't just white supremacy could not be as prevalent and as successful as it is. And I'm talking about Cincinnati as well. If some black folks wasn't a part of it, willing participants, because they're getting something out of it that benefits them individually, and they sell the rest of us down the river like, well, and that's exactly what it appears that Roland is trying to tell everybody is happening. So Roland, P. Diddy and others, Byron Allen and others, they approach GM with a plan. Like, look, if y'all really serious about, working with black folks, here is the plan. Here is the amount of money, the contribution, the investment that we want to see. Behind closed doors, Alfred Liggins and Ben Chavis Jr., they meet with GM behind Roland and P. Diddy and Byron Allen's back and craft their own deal. Straight up divide and conquer. And I've seen the same thing happen here. It happens here on a macro level and it happens on a micro level. The same shit is happening in Cincinnati, Ohio, where they pit black folks against one another. And therefore, nothing ever gets done. You never really get ahead. Because you can always find you a Negro that'll say, that'll be a bobblehead Negro. What you say? I mean, it's yes to everything. They can always get a Negro to sign onto a piece of paper and sign a dotted line. I'm just telling you, because they'll give them a position, put them on a commission, promise them something themselves. We'll take care of you. And they'll sell everybody else down the river just so they can get ahead. I'm just telling you. So we got to watch these Judases we got to call these Judases in our own community out, because they're even worse than the white supremacists because they inside the family. I'm just saying. Let me go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nathan. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. Welcome.
I can't agree with you more that we need to call out the Judases such as Tamika Mallory. I've been calling out Judases the whole time with Sean King, all these folks. Y'all just now catching up. So, as far as me, you're preaching to the choir. But, thanks for helping everybody get on board with what I've been saying for 5 damn years. When it comes to Khia, my mind hasn't changed. I've seen nothing, heard nothing. I've heard all of the scuttlebutt and other nonsense about how these people was adults. They was there to jump her. They was her foster sisters or the former foster mothers, other foster kids, just all types of stuff. But that second view, the neighbor's house, it makes Khia look even worse, if you ask me. It makes the whole situation look worse from that view. And notice how the people who are not good with the shooting, they always got to resort to supposition to prove their point. They can't just say it. Just simply realize in that moment, this particular situation, this cop acted properly to save a citizen. This is not the, the old late 1800s. See, there go Brent Beard again, insulting people. What's this guy's problem, Nathan? Like, why did you allow him on the show? I know he adds nothing. Speaking of Khia, he's down there in Dallas, Texas, where Tatiana Jefferson was killed, right?
I believe so, yes.
A freaking 4-year-old could have made the connection about between the two and getting police involved when they don't need to be, but yet he wants to comment on the alt middle all the time. What's his fucking problem?
He likes you.
Like, dude, get a grip, dude. Get a grip. He is a clear signifying monkey. Yeah, he likes to bloviate. He's become clearly insufferable. He's a fake tough guy. Always talking about, I'm 6'3". Rawr! And he's a professional Negro, always complaining. As a matter of fact, the Tatiana Jefferson episode is where that term was birthed, wasn't it? Professional Negro?
I
The
believe
dude
so.
that called the cops? That's
I
what we
believe so.
birthed that. That's what I'm saying, brother. Get a grip and get off my tip. You've become annoying at this point. You know, shout out to Anthony Plosser. He used to talk a lot of shit to us. Told him the same thing, like, dude, make comments about the show. That's all he's done. And his comments been fired the last 2-3 weeks. So shout out to that brother. You know what I'm saying? Just remember this, Brent Beard. The alt middle is the straw that stirs the drink. You the shifty nigga trying to put roofies in the drink. You know what I'm saying? Leave us alone, Darren Sharper, Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? Leave us alone. We ain't got time for you, B. Now.
What the hell?
I mean, he wants to keep insulting us, man, bruh. I've been very patient with this brother, Nathan, and you know it. Now, what were we talking about? Micaiah. We were talking about Micaiah. That side view from the neighbor's house is even worse on her. I'm sorry. Oh, LeBron James. And is he okay, Nathan? Is he okay? Is our brother okay?
I hope so.
He's clearly losing focus. You know, he let that tweet slip out. You know, I agree with you. He's got to be more responsible than that. And now he's going back and forth, giving props or, you know, giving even any type of recognition to a dude in Delhi. You see what I'm saying? Is our brother okay right now? Has he been cloned? This does not seem like this is not the LeBron James who's had the most publicly crafted perfect image since he was 15 years old. And now he does this a year after the China situation with the NBA. We need to send somebody to see is our brother okay. He's clearly losing focus. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got, man. I hated to get into that Brent Beard diatribe, but I'm watching on, you know, the thing while I see his comment. It's like, there he goes again. You know what I'm saying? I think it's about time you did what was right and got rid of that brother. He serves no purpose to the show.
Is that right?
He serves absolutely no effing purpose to the show. Remember, the straw that stirs the drink versus the Mickey that a shifty nigga put in your drink. Do you have any questions, comments,
No, I
snide
don't.
remarks?
No, I'll reserve it till you get off the phone.
Okay, brother. I appreciate it. It's been real. I had fun. You take care.
You do too.
Oh!
Well, one purpose that I see Brent serves is that he keeps triggering you, and it's hilarious. So keep doing what you're doing, Brent. I love it. As long as he's triggering you, it's great. He is hilarious. He said Darren Sharper. Bill Cosby. Don't do Darren Sharper like that, man. Well, actually, yeah. He's just as bad as Bill Cosby. He's even worse. The hell is wrong with these black men? Susan writes, he can't take it back, so now what? At least it wasn't a mistake to produce a hashtag. Cops can cry me a river. Jennifer writes, LeBron deserves this. Daryl writes, I know y'all living in city going out. I know y'all living in city going to get out and vote, right? Oh, you know I'm going to be out there. Wife and I were just talking the other day about when we're going to vote together. Tracy writes, white people don't want LeBron to get involved, period. We can't get mad when they say shut up and dribble and get mad when he makes some mistakes and owns it. The same definition of accountability, shift stupid. I mean, did he really? I mean, he didn't apologize and say, you know what, I made a mistake and I got the facts wrong. He didn't do that. But he did take it down, so we'll take that for what it is. Danita writes, did any of these cops make a video calling other cops who have killed unarmed black people? Good point. Good point. June writes, fuck 12. Okay. Why are we saying that? The police and media do that ish to us all effing day. Sarah writes, not giving Bron a pass. Yeah, LeBron is not the enemy here. I'm making a point, though. Let me see. Amen. Well, brother, I'm not saying he was right. He knew he made a mistake and took it down. Maurice writes, we don't justify killing our own. are tired of our people killing each other. We are under attack, period. Any person of color disagrees, is that Judas, period. The Judases agree with that and they still acting like Judases. John writes, great show. Sarai writes, Racker, speaking of TNT. Yeah, she always comes with that impassioned flow. You already know. She deeply cares about our community. I know that for a fact. Ronald writes, the same folks who A, hate cancel culture and B, voted Trump into office think LeBron needs to be canceled for saying something offensive in a tweet. Good point. Good point. I love cancel culture. Yeah, you go, if a business offends you, cancel their ass. Don't ever spend money with them ever again. Especially if they offend you on a racial tip, you done. You are done. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Nate?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Welcome.
It's called consequence culture. I heard that analogy too, but it goes back to my mom's telling me and my sister a long time ago. I told you a story about old Charlie's out there in Tri-County, and they didn't seat us fast enough, and we left. And, we're like, no, we wanted to go to old Charlie's. That's supposed to be our little treat for not acting up at the mall. And she left out and she said, never argue with people to spend your money. And I've used that to this day. Mm-hmm. So remember that. Never argue with people to spend your money. Let me say this, Nate. We can say that LeBron James can take a slight L, but outside of that, once again, it's the all-middle, the pound puppies being the first Negroes to show up talking about what's wrong with LeBron. Like I said, Nate, we got 4 years of guys tweeting out stuff when nobody gave a damn. Now all of a sudden, this is the most catastrophic thing that can happen in LeBron James' career right now? Really? So we just going to forget about the I Promise School? We're just going to forget about the advocacy for voting out there? We're just going to forget about the fact that he took his boys that weren't like stragglers like a lot of people do. He's like, no, I'm going to set you up to where you can become multimillionaires, where you can go to school, learn the trade. We just don't throw all that away. What's wrong with LeBron? No, what's wrong with you? You act like you don't got a history of wearing medium T-shirts and protesting against the NAACP. I'm here to back up Brent Beer. Hey, Brent, if you listen, which I know you are, the only thing you did was feed the troll. Because that's all he is. Hell, I'm kind of happy he's not on my back. He started also on some Bob Blocker type stuff. But no, there's nothing wrong with LeBron. Okay, the fact that he took it down, but hell, I like the statement. It is what it is. We can call it a mea culpa. Okay, and we just have 4 years of guys, grabbing about a pee. And Nate, have you seen the latest polls where it's like, 37% or 43% of Republicans think Officer Chauvin was innocent? Imagine that. Imagine that. So no, I told you, Nate, that's a brown thing, Nate, tighty whitey forever. You should have never told me the Schmedium story. Outside protesting the NAACP while Yvette Simpson and John Cranley are running for mayor. How'd that work out? These are the same brothers that are talking about I'm supporting Jim Neal. And didn't the little leader, Pound Puppy number 2, or is he number 1? I know Fang took over with a coup when his boy went upstate or upstairs. I mean, really? He not flew over the cuckoo nest, flew into the cuckoo's nest. So miss me with that. But yeah, they were talking about I wear a David Mann Amadeus wig. So, hey, Nate, you know, I got to clock in, and I got about 25 more minutes before I log in, but I had to get that off my chest. There's nothing wrong with LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan for a lot of things that has nothing to do with basketball, to tell you the truth, Nate. He's everything that Michael Jordan should have been. And I always say it. The older I get, the more I realize that, you know, Michael was a dog on the court, but as far as out there on the streets or standing up at least, man, he was hold tight. I'll say it. I said it. Hold tight. I mean, when you had an ample opportunity to support a brother and, you know, and his opponent is Jesse Helms, I mean, who's going to get mad? Who gives a damn if the Jesse Helms crowd doesn't buy Air Jordans? I don't affect it'll affect the price of stock. Oh, by the way, Nate, that's something I'm into right now, kind of big time.
What's that?
The stock market.
Okay.
The stock market. Oh yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna throw out a little chopper stock that I might want to check out. It's called NEO. They're basically the Chinese version of Tesla. I bought 10 stocks of it now. I think you can get it for I think it's $41.
Is it NEO?
But I'm already. Yep, NIO.
NIO. Okay.
Yeah, NIO. NIO. I'm sorry, I did say NIO. NIO. Yep. But they're the Chinese version of Tesla. So check it out, and then also look at a stock called Plug. They're basically one of the top makers as far as plug-in technology for cars. I'm big into EV. So just a little tip out there, man. But yeah, I had to call in. Hey, support my man Brett Bear down in Dallas, Texas. Hold it down. Y'all got to do something with Ted Cruz and the rest of those crazies down there. But outside of that, man, you know, I'm petty out. You have a good one.
Take it easy, brother. That's Brother Glenn, the Politically Petty Podcast. You should check it out. He is hilarious and very entertaining. Very entertaining and informative. I love people with strong opinions. Susan writes, J.C. Lindemann can shut up and go broke. Graston writes, we are making too many false assumptions and we only further engaging ourselves over nothing. Regardless his case, stop self-traumatizing yourself. Kamika writes, the Columbus PD has a recent history of unreasonable force against black people, but can de-escalate with white folks. But that doesn't matter. The way y'all BLM gets selective is ridiculous. Nat writes, the bar owner's announcement was straight clickbait. I think the Inquirer put it on the front page. John writes, keep talking common sense, Nate, and you'll run out of oxygen. Never try to convince a stubborn person their opinion is flawed. It's been a minute, White Wolf. Welcome back. Where you been, John? Terrence writes, they would have shot that same shot. A knife at 3 feet distance is considered to be in a zone where lethal force is possible. Please stop making these wilds should have, would have, could haves. Susan writes, suggesting LeBron James' comment puts a target on a cop's back suggests that we have a habit of targeting murderous police officers, which is a false narrative. Not one of these good free officers has experienced violence at the hands of the African-American community. In response to their failure think before they not tweet, but shoot to kill. I understand your point, but he still put a target on the brothers, on that black man, on that police officer's back. He did. I mean, there's no way around it, but I understand your point. I can't say I disagree with the overall point you're making. If you've been conditioned to follow white folks' selective rules of black folks' behavior just to maintain your middle-class comforts, just say that. Let me see. Terrence writes, did someone really say grab a knife? Are you kidding me? Yeah, somebody said grab the knife. I'm like, nobody's grabbed. Do you understand what that means? Show me how that's done. Ain't nobody out here grabbing no knives in the middle of a knife fight. It's going to aim very badly for you. I do not recommend it. Only people grabbing knives is family members, like at the barbecue. You know, the uncle's going, you know, grandpa going at the uncle, or your two uncles get into a fight or something, your auntie and your grandma get into a fight, and you like want to grab them. In that case, maybe, but I highly don't recommend you do that with strangers. The only person that should have been grabbing the knife is her dad, whom they called to the scene. Tracy writes, not poor white folks from Delhi, Nate. Akeem from Zamunda writes, does Lenny have plenty of Dogecoin? Dale writes, Junior Bridgman owns Essence. We got to remember that many police aren't fair actors. Many are undercover race soldiers. Maurice writes, Killer Mike and others opened a bank for people of color. One United Bank. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And brothers on point. We do. Please don't interject that black on black crime shit. That's a separate conversation. Tell white people to deal with white on white crime, mass shootings, white racism on police of color. Walk and chew gum at the same time. Dare writes, if you watched the Oscars last night, all the Cadillac commercials targeted at black folks. I did not watch the Oscars, but I do know that Chadwick Boseman got snubbed for Sir Anthony Hopkins. I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen either of the two movies, so I can't really comment on how good the performances are. But from what I read and what I gathered, Twitter wasn't happy about it. They were not happy. It would have been only the second time that an actor has been awarded the Oscar posthumously, meaning that they died before they could be awarded it. And a lot of people said it should have went to Chadwick Boseman. I don't know. I don't really plug into the Oscars like that because it just seems irrelevant, right? Like, I don't really care what the Oscars do, really. I want to see, black creatives get what they deserve, but it's really about, do I like the movie or not? You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. This is your West Side Connection. Your only black, not Democrat. Drop Squad 52 calling in from the left coast on this rainy Monday morning. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for asking. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good. Mr. Ivy, I think I was kind of behind listening to your show. When did Glenn from Mason hang up? How long ago was it?
5 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm only 5 minutes behind because it's time for me to get in that overseer, former overseer who was in training to be a Negro whisperer. Mr. Ivy, this black man, I heard him giving stock tips. Really? The same black man, the same overseer, the same Negro whisperer when Trump had the stock market blowing up. And I was on my tip about what's in your wallet, make sure your 401k is up to date because the market was blowing up. This fool, Glenn from Mason, who is really politically petty because his ass is also politically lazy because he ain't done a podcast since April 14th. That's a whole nother issue. But Mr. Ivy, now all of a sudden, the stock market is cool now. But see, again, that's just more hypocrisy from this man who's going to defend LeBron James, the most professional Negro in sports. He wants to defend LeBron James' irresponsibility on Twitter. And then Glenn had the audacity to bring up Trump. What does Trump have to do with LeBron James' irresponsible Twitter account? Because the man took the tweet down, Glenn. So, Mr. Ivy, I just want to say thank you. I'm glad you got that video clip that I sent you on Friday, even though it was late, but I can see that you probably used it in your show prep earlier. Black man that they detained was not the guy who stabbed somebody. So this guy that was detained in the back of the Chicago police car was detained by a black Chicago officer. So in the video, you could hear him talking to the black guy explaining why he detained him. And at the same time, there was a call that they had the guy with the knife in the park. So the black cop is driving to the park with the wrong guy in the back. He's driving to the park. He gets to the park and he can hear on the radio, "Drop the knife, drop the knife." There were two cops there confronting this black man with the butcher knife, a white patrolman, Chicago police, and a white female sergeant. So when the black guy with the knife emerged from the bushes, the white female sergeant tased him. He goes down for about 2 or 3 seconds. The brother gets back up, Mr. Ivy, with the electrodes in him from the female's taser, which was only maybe 10 feet away. He charges at her. Now, at the same time, Mr. Ivy, the black cop that pulls up, he's running through the park. Now, we got camera footage from all three cops. He's running through the park. The black guy with the knife is stabbing the female sergeant. She's screaming, "Get off, get off." Mr. Ivy, the white cop who was standing right there, did not shoot that black man. It took the black cop who ran at least 20 yards from the other side of the park, and he dumped like 8 rounds into this black man who just stabbed that white female sergeant, and he still did not let go of her after the black cop dumped 8 bullets in him. Now, Mr. Ivy, from my observation, that white cop was gonna let his sergeant be stabbed to death because he was afraid to shoot a black man. Now, Mr. Ivy, I put it on your site a long time ago, but in that video, Mr. Ivy, it was clear to me that there are some white cops who will not shoot a person who is attempting to kill another person because that person who is doing it is black. And this is where we are right now, Mr. Ivy, and the irresponsible mainstream media, they did everything they could to take that video down because this black man, after being tased, still got up and ran at that white officer with a butcher knife, stabbed her. Luckily, she had a vest on, stabbed her, and that white officer stood there and watched that guy stab that cop. It took the other officer to run clear across the park to take out that threat. Now, again, Mr. Ivy, I hope that video cleared up a lot of things in Columbus, but what LeBron James did and Glenn from Mason defending it is totally wrong. That's all I got. Shout out to the Out Middle and all their affiliates. Drop Squad 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace.
Appreciate the call. That's the dropping science. He is hilarious. He got it down, don't he? Y'all kill me, man. Y'all hilarious. I haven't seen that. That's interesting. I haven't seen that video. I want to see it. Somebody send that video to me. Speaking of videos, with the time we have left over the weekend, I've seen a whole bunch of viral videos. You know, we live in the age of viral videos, and I want to play some for you. These don't necessarily have anything to do with anything per se that's connected to what we're talking about. You might find them interesting. You might not find them interesting. They caught my attention for whatever reasons, and I want to share it with you. Let me see here. I don't even know where to start. I got Kevin Samuels, who everybody loves. Kevin Samuels be keeping it real. Are you a high value woman? Are you a high value man? World Star made him super famous. I saw him do a podcast with T.I. Expeditiously with T.I. Super famous. I don't even know where to start, man. I got all kind of videos. Where should we start this morning? The viral video segment. I mean, it's like battery. It's like fielder's choice, man. I don't even know where to start with it. Okay, so let's start here, though. This is kind of interesting. Everybody is, a lot of people are fans of DMX. He was laid to rest. And then a man claiming to be a friend of DMX took the stage. His name appears to be Jungle, and he interrupted DMX's funeral. Have you seen this? If you have not, you're about to see it. All right. This is not related to anything we've been discussing so far. This is just viral videos that caught my attention over the weekend. Check this out.
And we've been on the road with him for the last couple of years. And this album would have not happened if we were not around. If we did not suffer through the pandemic and take Earl Simmons out of his house, drive an RV down south, and complete this album. I've been his friend for 20 years. 20 years I've been his friend. And I've been around him. I'm not an industry dude, and we got similar stories. Just like him with his grandmother, I have a grandmother that raised me, and I love my grandmother. I have a dog. I have similar stories. We both were in institutions when we were young. And I want to give you a story to how our lives paralleled and crossed each other. Tashira said something here tonight that struck me, and I never knew it. She said that she seen X steal a purse or a pocketbook. That's the same thing I did as an adolescent when I was about 9 to 10 years old. And that put me in the group home in Yonkers. That's how I ended up in Yonkers. So I knew Earl Simmons since '89. And he was 7 years my senior. But I was a fan of his before he even realized it, because he was a local hero in the music industry, in the music scene as an underground artist. He did shows at School 12 and in Commerce, and the group home was right next door to Commerce. And I'm gonna tell you something else. This last year of my life, all the time I know Earl, I never said this to him. But I told him a story that happened to me, and he was a part of that story. He was a part of that story. And my name is Jungle, by the way. So I'm letting y'all know for the ones that don't know me. All right. Here's what I'm going to do, brother. Brother, my brother. Over here, my brother. First of all, no. There's order. There's respect. You violated order. You violated respect. All right? You've disrespected my house. You've disrespected my house. What you telling me? Regardless of how good you think what you got to say is, you've disrespected my house. God bless you, my brother. God bless you, my brother. God bless you, my brother. We're good. We're good.
Who let Jungle get on the damn stage at DMX's funeral? Oh my God. Listen, something happened to me. Mic control. Memo to the wifey and my family. Mic control. Don't let these yahoos get up there and make a mockery of my. I won't know at this point. I've already made that transition, but damn, that's what they do. Dude had all kind of stories. I guess, he said, y'all cut me out the program. Who are you? Who are you? That's Jungle. This next video, again, these are totally unrelated videos. They don't really have to do with anything at all. They just caught my attention because I'm just different like that, and I want to show them with you. This next video is an example of not playing with people. The moral of this story is don't play with people. I've said this before. It's people out there that'll go in your mouth. I'm not one of those people. I'm just a kind-natured individual. I got my limits. But there's folks out there that are not to be played with. I want you to watch this video. Let me set this up for you. This took place at what appears to be maybe like a high school football camp, something like that. And apparently there was a group of guys that was roasting other guys. Now, what does that mean by roasting? That means like telling jokes, capping, the dozens, things like that. But that young brother right there ain't having it. He is not having it. And this is what happened.
Yeah, bro.
What's your name, bro?
Migo, bro. Bro. On my dad's house, I'm gonna come over there and start stealing off on you, bro, on everything. You can't get this serious, my guy. Yes, bro, I can get that serious, bro. I already told you I ain't want to roast, bro. Alright, bro. I told you. Alright, bro, I'm finna stick you, bro. 5 seconds, bro. Stick me right like a stick you, bro, like in 5 seconds, bro. 5. 4. Nobody.
Oh!
Damn, okay. Let's stop playing with me.
Alright, you know what?
Alright.
It's all good.
It's all, so you want me to do it again?
You know what? Hey, chill.
Chill, fam. Chill, fam. Chill, fam.
On me, what the fuck, yo?
Chill, fam.
Ooh, chill, fam. Chill, fam. See, the moral of the story is leave people the hell alone. That's what the moral of the story is. The brother say he don't want to be roasted. Don't roast him. He hit him with a 2-piece like he was Larry Holmes. I take that back. That was Tommy the Hitman Hearns. It was quick. What position he play? He must be a running back. Bop, bop. And hit him with 2 more. Bop, bop. I think he learned his lesson. And there's some grown folks need to learn that lesson too. Leave people the hell alone. This could be you. Not everybody wants to play games with your ass. Woo! Yeah, I know. That really did happen. Damn. Yeah. Sometimes people got to learn the hard way. I bet he won't be roasting nobody anymore, will he? And I don't understand why people go on Kevin Samuel's show anymore. I don't even know. Why would you go on his show and ask this man to judge you? Why would you even do that? Because you know how it's going to end. It's going to end badly. He going to make an example out of your ass. Why would you go on that show, sister, and ask this man about what he think about you? Because he going to make a mockery out of you. Rotate.
And why the doubling of the weight?
You know, yeah, again, personal stuff, lost in myself, not caring, just
and you all right.
Right, like straight up, it was I stopped giving a damn. You know, I wasn't working as hard. I stopped going on runs and things like that.
And during that time, have you had sex?
During when I was younger? Or
During the
currently?
time during the time you fell off, were you having sex at any time during that time?
Yeah, for sure. You know,
And that's the problem, guys. You continue to stick your penis in this. That's the problem. That's why they can get on the camera and start talking about mediocre men when big as a planet, smoking a cigarette.
What did he just say?
I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? And it's like, okay, I cannot honestly sit back and listen to a woman who's built like the planet Ego talk about mediocre men while she's smoking on a motherfucking Newport. Are you serious?
What in the hell did he just say? Did he say big as the planet Ego? Now, you might not be a Marvel person. You know, I grew up reading Marvel comics. Y'all Johnny come latelys. I've been here. I told y'all, talking about we nerds. I told you Marvel was dope. Now everybody loves Marvel. Let me show you the planet Ego. What did he just say? Why do people go on this show and let this man judge you and you know he gonna say the wildest shit ever? Why would you do that? I'm how big as the planet smoking a cigarette. He is dumb as hell. But that's part of the show. This is the planet Ego. He is raw for that, man. Kevin Samuels, you bastard. You bastard. You call that woman the planet Ego. Oh my gosh. That man is funny, man. Hey, listen, it's part of the show. You watch his show. That's what he do. He gonna roast your ass. He gonna roast you. Don't go on the show. I'm imagining the planet Ego with a Newport off the side of the lips. He is stupid. Just a few viral videos. Hopefully you found some entertainment in that on some levels. I know it was a wild ride, wasn't it? It's the internet. I love the internet. I love every bit a part of it. Some lessons in there too. When motherfuckers say he don't want to be roasted, he don't want to be roasted. He don't want to be roasted. There's a lot of folks out there that deserved exactly what that boy got. And it is what it is. Memo to women, don't go on Kevin Samuel's YouTube show. He's gonna lampoon you. He's gonna clown you. That's what he does. Talking about big as the planet Ego with a cigarette. He is silly, man. That man is a fool, man. Who gave him a star? Who gave him a show? He is stupid as hell. What is wrong? Sean writes, what are those? Sean writes, Kevin Samuels is the truth, is he? He's definitely entertaining. I don't care what nobody say, he's entertaining. Kush writes, Kevin is too funny. He is a fool, man. Tracy writes, they don't know how to roast that fake ass Ricky Smiley. Oh boy, he got roasted with them ones and twos. Andrew writes, I'm not innocent, I'm not pure, but this is hilarious. Oh my God. What in the hell? What? Checker right there. He say big as a planet. He said the planet Ego. Now, you might have, there is a series, a Marvel series called damn, what is it called, fam? Guardians of the Galaxy. And the planet Ego is the father of what's the dude's name? I don't know. What's his name? Captain Universe, something like that. He's one of the members of the Guardians. I never read the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I seen the movie. It was okay. It was entertaining. I was distracted at the same time. I think my daughter may have seen it and aware of it, but I forget the name of the guy. But he's in like the whole universe, Marvel universe, MCU. They fought Thanos, the whole 9 yards. He said, big as the planet Ego with a Newport. He is dumb. Don't go on his show. Men and women, he's gonna clown you. That's what he wants you to come on the show so you can be less than a 10. He's gonna run you down in his self-righteous way. He does what he does. He gonna make it real funny. World Star's gonna pick it up. They're gonna laugh at you. Shows like this don't do it. I'll never understand why people go on that show for validation. You don't need it. Back to the show we go. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Nate. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Brother Terrence.
Good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Asking ye shall receive. I was taking a bath and wanted to give a call when I could without having an echo in the background.
All good, brother. What's going on?
Not too much. I wanted to. I know I made a few comments about the incident in Columbus, and I have some very strong feelings about this and about how some of us are reacting to it, and I mean this in the most honest and fair way. Obviously, a lot of people know I've been deployed twice to Iraq, where we served as a presence in another country. Obviously, we're not quote unquote law enforcement. However, some of our functions were law enforcement like. So two of the things that we did, were part of my mission set. We did something called TST, which is time sensitive targeting. You had tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 high value targets that were known individuals who were orchestrating attacks, phone and money, getting resources from Iran that were being used to then injure, maim, and kill us. And then we also used to do something we used to call presence patrol. Presence patrol. Same thing what you see with the Cincinnati police officers around here. You drive around certain areas, you'll stop. Over there, we are allowed to do flash traffic control points where we would stop, search people in and out, leaving the community, search their cars for a vehicle, for vehicle bombs. And I know it sounds kind of dumb, but yes, we would look for people that would have cars that were VBAD, vehicle-borne IEDs. I say all that to say there were many times where we were in situations that calls for us to be in close proximity to individuals. I had a few friends injured. I had a few friends killed. Some from their vehicle being blown up. But there was one particular instance where it was in December of 2007. And there was a routine moolah that our team, Tactical Team B, used to always go visit. And what ended up happening was a guy got out of a car, walked up to our squad, and he blew himself up. It was a suicide bomber. Now, over there, we're taught to watch the eyes and hands. Anybody in close proximity to you is considered to be a possible threat. The risk assessment was based upon where we are, what we were doing, and who we are involving ourselves with. And part of that also was something called QRF, which is Quick Reactionary Force. And that also entailed us pretty much, we'll get a call of a firefight or a bombing. And we're the guys that come running into a firefight. So Using lethal force for me is a very serious subject. You know, I remember a particular time when I was in Iraq, and a car almost blew a checkpoint that we had set up. And I was a gunner. I was a private. This was 2007. This was in April. And they came flying down the road, and I was holding a 240 Bravo. You can YouTube what a 240 Bravo is. It shoots a 7.62 millimeter round. It shoots 600 to 800 rounds per minute. Well, I was ready to fire. I took my weapon off of safe to fire. I was fully locked and loaded, and I almost gunned down an entire family. What stopped them from happening? I say the grace of God. I screamed as many times as I could for them to stop and see me. And then finally they stopped and they slid into an embankment, turned around and drove away. You know, you can probably even hear some of the weariness in my voice. I still remember that day. I remember that day when I almost had to kill an entire family. There was a man, woman, and kids in the car, and the entire car would have been obliterated. You know, so people don't understand how these situations arise. They've never been in any of these situations. They have never once put the shoes on of anybody that's had to be in the seat of what is permissible, legal, and authorized use of force. And we're making a lot of assumptions based upon other happenings, and we need to deal with these situations on a case-by-case basis. While again, not a local police officer, pretty savvy on what goes on, 3 feet of distance with a knife is considered to be close enough for lethal force or lethal harm to be done to somebody. Now, if you're a police officer, you're going into a situation and you are actively observing someone draw back with a weapon with an intent to strike another individual, that police officer did his job. Yes. People say, oh, you could have used a taser. Tasers are not always effective. And again, if you look at the protocol, tasers are typically only employed when it's less than lethal force occurring around them. Meaning, it's not necessarily deemed an appropriate use of force to use a taser on somebody holding a gun. And again, people can, go and ask their police officer friends about this stuff. Like, we need to stop having these conversations as if it doesn't happen in a vacuum. That cop, unfortunately, and again, as tragic as it is, he acted appropriately based upon the information that we have now, what we've been able to visually see. It's a bad situation all around. I honestly feel that father should be charged. Those parents failed them. Yes, 2 women came to her house to fight her. That parent doesn't have to let that kid outside. I'm blocking my kid. I'm not going to send my kid out to go fight 2 grown women. What is it supposed to be cute? We are traumatizing ourselves more and more when we keep having these unrealistic expectations on what we think is supposed to happen. No, go do some research and try knowing a little bit about how these things actually work. I've even seen a meme where somebody posted a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse walking around with a weapon, and they're saying, oh, well, look at Kyle Rittenhouse walking around with a gun and didn't no police pull up on him to kill him. He's not actively shooting anybody in those situations. I think we're doing more harm to our psyche, to our emotional well-being, the more that we have these disillusions about what we think was supposed to happen versus what we saw happen. And that's all I got. And I appreciate your time, Nate.
Yeah, appreciate the call, brother. Appreciate you. Man, that's deep right there. Woo. Said he almost obliterated a family. I know that's something you could tell in his voice. He's still living with that. Yeah, human beings with a conscience, that ain't no normal stuff, taking out no whole family like that. If it's an enemy, if it's you or them, I get it. But that's deep. But I appreciate his insights. And again, people can say, oh, I'm taking sides with the white supremacists. Nothing could be further from the truth. I'm just bringing balance to the conversation so I can steer people to a more common sense way of looking at it. You know what I'm saying? And we got to get out of our feelings and look at these on a case by case basis. You can't be talking about what happened in Florida and what happened 2 years ago. It don't matter. Well, they could have did this and they should have did this. And remember that case from Northern Ohio? And he said he had a gun. It don't matter. None of that matters. The only thing that matters in these cases is the context of the case as it's presented by the facts. That's the only thing that matters. It don't matter what some other officer, it could even be the same police force, might have did in what people think is a similar situation, although it's a different situation. It don't matter. It's sad. Damn, that's deep right there. That's super deep. Appreciate the call. Mary writes, Kyle Rittenhouse had shot people. Erica writes, facts. Sean writes, tell it, Braxton. Janice writes, Rittenhouse had killed several people. See, Kevin writes, the officer chose to disable a threat to another person who was in the act of committing a possible homicide in front of him. I mean, it just seems to be really, really open and shut, in my opinion. Now, when Fame was talking, I played for you the second view that gives you a different viewpoint of what would happen in that situation, and it just, I don't feel any differently. I feel the exact same way. Let me give you an update because we spent a whole show talking about a white Texas teacher that had her foot. She thought it was a prank. It was on Friday. She thought it was funny to take a photograph of her foot on the neck of one of her students, and then she sent it to the student's parents. Initially, the mother of the student was like, well, hey, I see no harm. Hey, she's just offending her family. And then she started thinking about it. She got in her feelings about it, right? Well, I'm happy to report that woman has been suspended. She has been suspended for that image. And rightly so. And she should have been. She staged a photo of her foot on the neck. She's been put on leave. And I hope she gets fired. It's all over. She's been suspended after that. And that's great. I'm glad. Hopefully she gets fired, because if she's got that kind of lapse in judgment, it just makes me wonder, in what other ways does she have a lapse in judgment? That's what it makes me wonder. All right, folks, I'll say it again. This is a media platform, and we offer space for ads, whether it be political ads or whether it be small business, or maybe you've got an upcoming event. This is not an endorsement. This is an ad. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Mr. Same Old, Same Old. I'm running for mayor. Hello, I'm Mr. Same Old, Same Old. I'm running for mayor.
Hold up. Haven't you run for a bunch of offices always promising change but doing nothing?
Yeah, but
nothing. I'm not voting for the same old politicians to clean up City Hall and create change. We need to vote Profit for mayor. He will be bold, courageous, fair, and stop corruption at City Hall. I'm voting for Profit. Profit for people.
I'm Raphael Profit, and I'm asking for your vote, as I will do what is right, what is just, and what is fair. Paid for by Profit for Mayor, Dwight Crawford, Treasurer.
It's a Monday. I want to motivate you. So a little bit of motivation this morning. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. It comes from your own actions. It's what you do that will create your happiness. See that little island right there, the shape of a heart? You can have that. That can be you. And that little, looks like a yacht. We'll call it a yacht. Somebody is about to go to their happy space, and that can be you. But it comes from your own actions. Put the actions in place, and you can have your own little tranquil island of happiness. I wish that for everybody listening this morning. I've got to cut out just a little bit earlier, family, all right? So forgive me with not giving you a heads up. I got to make a move a little earlier. Now, coming up at 12 p.m. today, Tiffany Daniels will be live streaming Community Connector, and she'll be talking with Ambria Mikaloziak. And I hope I didn't mangle her last name. She's the owner of Arc Restoration and Construction, which develops real estate, manages properties, and restores distressed structures to increase property values and elevate real estate quality in Northwest Ohio. In particular, I've been told she's a powerhouse in real estate when it comes to Toledo. She could have I'm sure she has a wealth of experience and knowledge to share with you today at 12 noon. That's the Community Connector podcast. All right. Now, tomorrow, I got a brother coming on who's going to be joining CDM. He does a podcast called The Echo Chamber, and he's going to come on and chop it up with us a little bit tomorrow, and you'll hear me talk more about his podcast. We got a lot of more podcasts that are coming as well, so thank you so much for your support. We need this. We need Black independent media, and we're here to provide that, all right, with CDM. And I'll leave you like that, family. I got to cut out just a little bit late this morning. Forgive me. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Have an excellent Monday. Have a great start to the rest of your week. And we'll catch up real soon. I'm Nathan Ivy, and I'm out.